Hello and welcome to this Festival Pro tutorial video. Today we're going to take a look at sponsors and how they work in Festival Pro. And we can find the sponsors tab in organizer mode here at the top. If you want to add your own sponsor, you can do this just like adding any other contact in the platform. Go add new, add your sponsor name, first name, last name, email address. If they're one you're adding directly, there's a high chance, I imagine, they're already confirmed, so you can mark them there as confirmed and add them to your platform. They'll show up then in your view all confirmed list. But quite commonly, people will use some kind of application form. We've got a default one here under sponsor forms and sponsor application form. It gives you a URL because it's a public form, and then people can visit this link. You can put in, for example, the packages that you might have or sponsor options, collect their information, their contact details, any questions you might have. Perhaps you want them to upload a logo, or you've got multiple events, it depends which one you want them to sponsor. They can pick their package. You can edit the questions on these forms, and there's other tutorials that go into more depth on building forms and how you do that. But if we just go into settings, you can see the back end of that application form here, with the top page text area where we find that information that you saw at the top of the form. And if I go into the registrations, here's the person who's filled in our form, Milton Music. So once someone's come through the form, you can click into view and see their answers. Here we've got a local music shop selling some records and instruments and some turntables. And if we go into the profile fields here, we can see we've already marked this one as confirmed. There's other tags we have in here by default, like local business or stage of the sponsor that you can use. The package is actually pulled from what they filled in on the form, and you can come in here and start to set other things as well, such as accreditation. So let's just go sponsors view all confirmed. And here we'll find we've got Milton Music, who came through the application form, but I've also got other sponsors here who I have just added because they've worked with us before or we've got contact with them in some way. Now these sponsors are in here. We can start to go through and just add any specifics and details that we might have. So for this confirmed sponsor, they haven't come through a form, but I know that they are gold, so I would enter this in here because this would be blank if they haven't come through a form and selected the package themselves. The details of package, we could either just paste in whatever the standard for gold is, or because these are profile fields linked to a specific sponsor, you can have specific details in here for them. This sponsor wants blue M&Ms in some balloons. And the sponsor package price, this is how much they're going to pay you, and this will pull through into the sponsor payment form that we'll look at in a second. To update all of these fields, you can either do it in that pop-up or click add columns, and then here you can always bring in the bits that you need. So typically I would add in here any of the fields I want to be working with, and then I can come down this list and perhaps Milton Music, I'm going to add in here, they'll have a guitar stand. The information that we have saved in these profiles goes through to the sponsor payment form. And to send that to them, we can click on their name or go to bulk email if you want to do everybody at once. And under the sponsors section, there is a sponsor payment and accreditation form. Now, you'll notice it's got the word accreditation in here. And one thing we are going to want to do is set some passes for these people. So when we accreditate the passes under the profile fields, accreditation, you can see here we've given these guys, say, 3 VIP passes. You can go into config where you can update the names of these passes, as well as add any other profile fields that you might need in the sponsors section. Let's just view this agreement. And if I click send, we can see this link go out, or you could right click it and open that link as I have here. And you'll notice when we first look at this that there's an admin only override price here. If you're logged in as an admin, you do get these options. Allows you to put in lower prices or put that through as 0 when you're testing. So what is best to do when you're doing a test is just to do this as they would. So let's close this window, go back to our email. we can copy this link and then we can go dashboard log out and then paste that link in and view it exactly like they would if they were receiving the email. And this allows us now to see the agreed package cost is here. You know, there's no admin override. They put in their names for their 3 VIP passes. If I go next, we can see here a total of 6,000, and we've got these sponsor passes. They're listed on here, but they are free. You can remove these in the cost options on the form. If you don't want them to come up, you just need to visit the sponsor passes, edit that field, and under cost options you'll see a hide on invoice and payment page button. So if you were to tick this, then it wouldn't show those free items on the invoice. So it's up to you if you want these to show or not. But in essence, everyone who comes through this sponsor payment form, under your registrations, you'll see how much they have paid over here. And we can click on view to see the responses. And these are the ticket codes that have been generated. I can go actions and view the ticket. And we can see these sponsor passes that have been created. If we'd like to see who's completed and not completed this sponsor payment form, we can always go to all of our confirmed list and use the form stats button here in the middle at the top. And here we see everyone who has been sent that email template. So if they've been sent the link via the email, they'll show up here in the list with a tick if they've completed the form and a cross here if they haven't. So we can click the little cross here at the top, whereby we can go and chase these 5 people up. Next thing you might want to do is export some of this information. So let's get back to all of our confirmed people. We'll go into sponsors, view all confirmed, and I'll hit onto the export button towards the right at the top. There's another export button at the bottom, but let's just come in here and take, say, the sponsor name from the contact fields. Contact fields are these ones on the right. We've got the company name here in the orange. It's blurred out, but yeah, the company name, first name, last name, email address, lead contact, all in here. So out of those contact details, we're going to want to take the sponsor name, and then in the profile fields in here we can go and take some of our sponsor details. So we'll take the sponsor package, perhaps what kind of business it is, the details of the package, perhaps the package price, and then we can run this out in, say, HTML. We can see all of this on the screen. You can move these columns around and hide the visibility of different things that you pull out in your export. You can search it here at the top, and once you're happy you can pull that down in CSV or Excel or PDF format as well. In terms of getting the files, such as any logos they upload, if we go to the form itself where they have uploaded this information, in this case on the sponsor payment form we have the logo upload here, we can go to the registrations of everyone who's filled this in, actions, export, export files, and you'll notice down here form logo upload. So we'd be able to pull that out if we like from the form directly where they've uploaded it, but we have indeed synced this into company logo, so you would be able to pull it out from the previous area as well, because we have synced it. So you'd be able to go sponsors, view all confirmed, and then export the files and then take that company logo from here. So it's not always necessary to sync information such as logos. In this case we have, but if you haven't synced it, you can just download it directly from the form and the form registrations. If you have synced it, then you can do it from the standard search as well. So you might have other questions you want in here, and you can just go into your config mode, profile fields and sponsors, and in here you can start to add your own custom profile fields of other information that you might store against each of these contacts. So I hope this video has been useful. Just as a recap, we've looked at how we can add a sponsor either manually or taking them through some kind of application form, a public form where you can then review the answers and confirm them up in the profile fields here. You can then go into all of your sponsors, be them through a form or people added directly in your confirmed list, where you can start to add sponsor package prices, the details of those packages, and then once you've given them their accreditation and any other bits and pieces that you might need to store against them, you can send them out the sponsor payment form via a template. We have a pre-built one that you can edit in here, and once they go and they visit that link, they'll be able to come through, pay off their package price as long as you're connected up through Stripe, put in their names for any tickets that generate the QR code passes, and then you're going to be able to easily monitor who has and hasn't completed that form yet, chase people up quite easily, and then export any of the information that you might need to use in any different way. So do get in touch and drop a support ticket in if you need any help building something specific for your event. And if you haven't started building your own forms yet, do check out our form building and form basics videos, which will give you a really good starting point. See you next time.